while another one is worth a mind-blowing 100 million. We're about to find out. We're going to take a look at what over $250 million worth of cars actually looks like and really dig into what makes them so unbelievably expensive. The collection of cars we're about to see has a total value of over $250 million. I mean, that's a number that's almost impossible to get your head around, right? It's a mix of incredible history, wild engineering, and yeah, what some people would just call financial insanity. The source for this whole explainer put it perfectly. Behind me are the most expensive cars in the world. And honestly, that is not an exaggeration. Our journey today is going to take us from a car that costs less than your morning coffee all the way up to a true priceless artifact. Okay, so to understand how a car can possibly be worth millions, we've got to start at the absolute bottom. Let's see how this incredible leap in value even begins. And here it is, our first giant leap in value, from $1 to $100,000. On one side, you've got a hunk of metal that basically smells like an ashtray and barely runs. And on the other, a brand new Tesla. It's silent, it's roomy, and oh yeah, it drives itself. Right away, you can see that value isn't just about getting from A to B anymore. It's all about the tech that gets you there. So we've gone from just running to state-of-the-art tech. But what happens when you keep climbing that ladder? I mean, once you have a car that drives itself, what more could you possibly buy? Well, it turns out the answer is speed, style, and some pretty serious security. For $200,000, you get a Lamborghini. And here, the whole idea of value shifts again. You're not just buying a way to get around. You are buying an experience. A full-on sensory assault, really. You got the roaring engine, that aggressive look, the feeling of pure speed. You're literally paying a premium for an emotion, even if it means you're cramped in an interior that's way smaller than the Tesla's. But then, for $300,000, the reason for the price tag changes completely. We go from speed to pure, unadulterated security. This thing isn't just a car, it's your own personal tank. It's got bulletproof windows so thick you can barely believe it, armor that can literally withstand explosions, and, get this, a tactical smoke screen, just in case you need to make a dramatic escape. And to prove just how tough it is, they put it through the ultimate test. First, they took a normal car and blew it up. It was completely destroyed. Dummies went flying everywhere. Then they hit the armored car with the exact same explosion. And the result? The car barely budged. A few scratches maybe, but the passengers and the chocolate bar they left on the seat were totally fine. Now that's what you're paying for. We've covered speed and we've covered safety, but what if you want a car that just completely breaks the rules of what a car is supposed to do? This is where the price tags and the abilities just enter a whole new dimension. I mean, let's just ask a crazy question. Can a car become a boat? Sounds like something out of a James Bond movie, doesn't it? Well, a $500 million one can. This thing drives straight off the pavement, right into the water, and with just the push of a button, it transforms. You're literally driving on the ocean like it's just another highway. And you know, if driving on water isn't quite enough for you, for another 100 grand, you can take to the skies. This is a $600,000 completely street-legal car that also has wings and a propeller. It can fly up to 2,000 meters high. It's not science fiction, it is simply a flying car. Okay, now we are crossing a major line. We are officially entering the $1 million club. And in this club, the rules of what makes a car valuable, they change completely. It's not about what it does anymore, it's about extreme, cutting-edge engineering. Take a look at this $2 million prototype. This machine is a true glimpse of the future. It runs on nothing but hydrogen, and the only thing that comes out of its exhaust is water so pure you can actually drink it. And yet, it has a top speed of over 350 kilometers per hour. It's just a concept, of course. It doesn't even have seatbelts yet, but its incredible value comes from that groundbreaking, forward-thinking technology. So what happens when you take that kind of extreme engineering and just perfect it? Well, that's when cars stop being just cars, and they become true investment-grade assets. This car is the perfect example. For $10 million, you get the Koenigsegg Vader, and it's not one of a few. It is a one of one. There is no other car like it on Earth. The body is made from pure aerospace-grade carbon fiber. And as if that wasn't enough, the paint has actual crushed diamonds mixed into it. It's an absolute masterpiece of engineering, and that twin-turbo V8 makes it one of the fastest cars on the planet. Let's just try to wrap our heads around this jump. We went from a $200,000 Lamborghini to a $10 million Koenigsegg. The leap is just enormous. But as you can see on this chart, the next jump to our final car is on a completely different planet. But before we get there, we have to talk about this $20 million icon, the McLaren F1. This one is owned by the legendary host Jay Leno. It's a true landmark in automotive history, famous for that wild central driver's seat and for being the fastest car of its kind ever made. The story of this car's value is summed up perfectly by Jay Leno himself. He bought it way back in 1998 for $800,000. Today, it's worth $20 million. And in his own words, this car made you $1 million a year just by owning it. At that point, it's not a car anymore. It's a world-class financial asset. And that brings us to our final category. These are cars that are so rare, so important, that they've basically gone beyond money. For all intents and purposes, they are priceless pieces of history that just happen to have wheels. For instance, you've got a $30 million Ferrari. Why is it worth so much? Because it was a one-of-a-kind personal gift from Enzo Ferrari himself to Henry Ford. Or how about a $50 million Jaguar? Its value is tied directly to its iconic owner, the actor Steve McQueen. It was his personal daily driver. Their value has nothing to do with speed anymore. It's all about their story. Which finally brings us to this number, $100 million. What kind of car could possibly justify that price? It's not about diamonds in the paint or some futuristic engine. It's this one, the very first Ferrari ever built. That's the secret. Its value has absolutely nothing to do with how it performs today and everything to do with its place in history. It's a singular, irreplaceable artifact. It's the origin story of an automotive legend brought to life in steel. So, from a $1 piece of scrap to a $100 million piece of history, this journey shows that value is about so much more than just getting from point A to point B. It's about technology, it's about security, innovation, art, and legacy, which really just leaves us with one final question to think about. At what point does a car stop being a car and become a priceless artifact?